Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Biggie546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, so we ended up losing yesterday's game. I made a video. I made multiple videos recapping that game, recapping other games. But those videos, something happened with the quality. I can't put those videos out, so I'm doing a more detailed recap right now of what happened yesterday with the Giants, and it wasn't pretty. Pretty much, I blame most of this on coaching. The rest of it is just, it was just one of those times where it wasn't our day. It just really wasn't our day, and everything that could go wrong did go wrong. This is one of those games like when we played against the Rams a couple of years, when we played against the 49ers last year, whenever we used to play against the Vikings back in the day with Eli. It just wouldn't be our day to make plays and go out and win a football game. Teddy Bridgewater is what I'll start off with. Because first off, before I even talk about what the defense was doing, I want to first give props to Teddy Bridgewater, who got pretty much ignored by most people. It was between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. And of course, I wanted Drew Lock to be the starter for the Broncos because I know with Teddy Bridgewater, worst case scenario, he's not going to make that team any worse than it already is. He's not going to put the ball in harm's way. He's not going to do anything and take any unnecessary risk. He is going to be a guy who's, and I hate to try to make it seem like it's a bad term, but he's going to manage the game at a high level, and he did. He managed the game at a supremely high level, which is basically, if he does that at that high of a level, that is elite quarterback play. Teddy Bridgewater not only hit guys when they were open, he also scrambled around. He also bought time, broke out of multiple sacks. There was at least 4 or 5 times that we should have gotten him, and we didn't. We actually got 6 quarterback hits, a bunch of pressures, but he just kept getting away, making those throws on 3rd and longs, on 4th and longs at times, on 4th and shorts. Every single 3rd and 4th down conversion that was big for us to convert, he came through every time. He came through every time for the Broncos to go out and win that game. And it was, it's one of those times where it seems like the game plan was maybe to let Teddy Bridgewater go down the field on them over and over again and hope that he makes a mistake. But he wasn't going to make a mistake. And Teddy Bridgewater basically beat us. And that's why I feel like this defense, I'll start off with Jabril Peppers. He did not look good at all. Adoree Jackson had a couple of plays I didn't like. PFF just dropped some stuff saying that James Bradberry gave up 6 catches. And I kind of have to look at that tape myself because I really don't see, I didn't really see James Bradberry giving up things. I just saw a lot of busted coverages. Some of them were on his side. That might have been his responsibility. But I have no way of knowing who was supposed to be in what zone. I just don't know. I don't know what his responsibility was on those plays. So I'm not going to say that James Bradberry had some horrible game because, first of all, that doesn't fit what he's been so far. That secondary has got to step up as far as the safeties in the middle of the field. At times, Blake Martinez was getting roasted in the middle of the field, which isn't that big of a surprise. He's not a coverage guy. Jabril Peppers again. Logan Ryan had a pretty good game. He wasn't really giving up anything, but anybody who was on the tight ends consistently gave up catches. The receivers across the middle of the field gave up catches. Bradberry, I did see give up a couple of catches like that on crossers, even on man coverage. And they did not look good on defense. I want to put this in perspective for people. Teddy Bridgewater, first off, was 28 of 36. 28 of 36. We had the ball 11 minutes in the second quarter and third quarter combined out of the 30. And basically, if you round up, because the Broncos had the ball for 19 minutes and 49 seconds in that first half. In that second quarter and third quarter, that half that you combine those second quarter and third quarter together, the Broncos had the ball 19 minutes and 49 seconds, meaning Basically 20 minutes out of the 30 minutes, the Broncos had the ball. The defense gave up a series of horrible conversions. People want to talk about the offense, and I'll get to the offense in a second. But the offense starts off with 6 plays. They get down, have good field position. I feel like Joe Judge should have kicked that field goal because Graham Gano is well known for kicking long field goals. It would have been a 55-yarder, but he didn't risk it. He just said, I'll play the field position game. We punted the ball. They punted it right back to us, and then we went 3 and out. So that time you have 2 drives where you don't score, but that's pretty normal in a game that seems like it's going to be a defensive game. The next play, the next drive, after only playing, because people say the defense is just so tired. After only playing 5 plays that first drive, the defense comes out and they give up a 15-play drive. They're able to get a stop. They're able to kick a field goal. All right, so the defense did their job. That's what people are saying. So the offense has to pay them back for it. Guess what? The offense goes 7 plays, touchdown. The defense after that, they give up another 70-play drive, and luckily they were able to get a fumble by the hairs of their chin, or else they would have given up another score. But they got a fumble there, but they forced that fumble inside the Giants' own 5-yard line. So the playbook is limited at that point. You don't want to fumble. You don't want a safety. We're just trying to run the football to get some breathing room and try to get a first down. It didn't work out. I saw that the play that we ran was sort of a quick pass to Kyle Rudolph in the flat. Kenny Golladay was open across the middle of the field. Now, it seemed like the playbook was telling Daniel Jones to immediately go for Rudolph, but we don't know what Jason Garrett told Daniel Jones to do. It could have been go right after Rudolph, or it could have been that's your first read, but if he's not open or it looks like he's not going to get the first down, then look for Kenny Golladay across the middle. And I feel like Golladay should be the first read every single time in these plays. But we don't know what Jason Garrett is telling Daniel Jones. We don't know what Daniel Jones is thinking. Right after that, because we're stuck in our own territory, we're forced to punt. Of course, they get the ball back. They go down the field, and they go on another 7-play, 57-yard drive, which seemed a lot easier. They basically went down the field in 2 minutes. 2-minute drill, no issues at all, straight down the field. And after that, we kneel the ball. And if you take away that kneel, the offense didn't touch the ball again for pretty much over an hour. The Broncos come right out of halftime. Is that enough rest for you guys? Because people are saying that the defense was so tired because of what the offense was doing. When I've just described to you, the offense barely touched the ball this entire game. The defense comes out and they give up a 16-play drive. They're tired because they couldn't get off the field. 16 plays, 75 yards, 8 minutes, and 12 seconds. Their second 8+ minute drive that they gave up, a complete mess. Our offense responds. DJ comes out. He comes out and goes down the field, and then he can't hold on to the football. So how is this Jason Garrett's fault? It doesn't add up to me. Every other drive that I see here, the Giants pretty much drove the length of the field after that fumble. The thing is, we were in the red zone. We couldn't convert. I don't understand how all of this blame is being shifted on to Jason Garrett. Not that I'm saying like pom-poms for Jason Garrett, because he has shown some things I didn't like. For instance, Kadarius Toney was given that reverse play where everybody knew that he was going to get the ball. I mean, how could you not sniff that out? Also, he was given a swing pass, would actually worked pretty well. But I didn't like that. Obviously, if Rudolph was the first read on that other play, I didn't like that. But also, I did not like the red zone plays. We need much more variety, much more crossers in the red zone to get people open. Other than that, Jason Garrett, for the most part, called a good game if your offense is driving pretty much the entire field every time they touch the ball. I mean, all but, we went 3 and out 2 times. We went 3 and out 2 times, and one of those was on our own 5-yard line. So I didn't see an issue. That wasn't the reason that we lost the game. And if we would have settled for field goals, if we would have actually kicked field goals every time we got down there, we would have, scored more points than we did. But another thing I wanted to get to, DJ looked like DJ. He looked good. Again, the offense was moving. But on the play that he messed up, killed the momentum. All of his turnovers are turnovers that are at bad times, where we're just taking the momentum back and it swings back in the other direction. And then another thing I want to just, why are people so fixated on DJ's career turnover number? Look at the last 16 games. Look at last season even. But why are you pulling up his career turnover numbers? So every time the dude has a turnover, what is he never going to turn the ball over again? Let's talk about what's going on recently. Because sure, if you bring up everything from his rookie year and you include those, then yeah, he's got a ton of turnovers. But if you look at this last year, I don't see as big of an issue, especially when you include the second half of last year. Saquon, he looked pretty human. He looked pretty just like a guy. He looked like a guy, but it was his first game back. I'm not going to be hard on him. I think he'll get better as things go along. He looks very healthy. I just think he's got to get that confidence and his instincts back. I expect him to be looking like Saquon in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but it was good to see him back out there. He did make a couple of plays that make you think this really is Saquon Barkley, but the offensive line really has got to block for him. They really pass block well, but they did not run block well at all, and that was the exact opposite of what we all thought. Kadarius Toney again had 5 snaps. Jason Garrett, I don't think he was going to throw him out there for any more than those 5 snaps because Kadarius Toney has not been out there for most of this offseason. So he's probably not that well, integrated in the playbook at this point. He's got to get that playbook under his belt, and he'll be out there probably more next week, more the week after. But I'm not really worried about that. And the silver linings, the biggest silver linings I took away from this is Andrew Thomas looked great. Mind you, he was playing against their backup edge rusher on that side. So we can take from that what we may. He's going to play against Chase Young soon, so we'll see what happens there. But he looked great. Galladay looked great. Sterling Shepard looked great. And Jason Garrett, by the way, designed a great play for Sterling Shepard to come across the field underneath those deep routes from Galladay and Slayton to catch that pass and be able to get up the field for a touchdown. That was a nice design play. But Shep and Galladay looked really good. I think that we're going to start to get the ball to them earlier on in these games. You can't just force the ball to people like this. Like, we're not going to just force it to Galladay every time. If Shep is open pretty much every time, Darius Slayton is an issue. I think he's going to be probably sitting down on the bench pretty soon for most of those plays. As Kadarius Toney learns more and as John Ross gets back, Darius Slayton has got to start catching the ball. When the ball is thrown to you, catch the football. It's just that simple. You got to catch the ball because he kills so many third down. So many conversions we could have had. And going back to last year, if he just catches the football, we're home free. And this is a problem he's had since college. And Darius Slayton never gets checked for this because everybody's worried about Evan Ingram. But Darius Slayton has a serious drops issue. And I think if he continues to drop the football, Kadarius Toney will start taking snaps from him. You'll start to see Kadarius Toney and John Ross and whoever else we call up, maybe Colin Johnson, start to get more reps. Because if you can't secure the catch, all of that other stuff makes no difference at all. But the Giants had a bad day. It was poorly coached. Joe Judge made a horrible mistake throwing that challenge flag. It didn't make any sense at all. I know that you can't throw a challenge flag in a scoring play, and it seemed like he didn't really have an answer as to why he did it, besides he was emotional, which does not cut it. We're not going to sit here and make it seem like Joe Judge and Patrick Graham can't be criticized because they did not have a good day yesterday. And I really think that if you look at all 3 of the units, I think the best unit that was most prepared to play was the offense. Now, you don't see it on the scoreboard, but we passed up on multiple field goals. The first time we passed up on a 55-yard field goal. Then we passed up on it a couple of times because we were trying to be aggressive and go for it on 4th down because we were down at that point. But what happened in this game, the story of this game, is the fact that the defense could not get off the field. Sometimes there was pressure. Teddy Bridgewater got out of the way. It was a mix of us not being able to tackle well, not being able to execute and finish these drives on defense, and Teddy Bridgewater having a crazy, amazingly good game. And if the Broncos can get this kind of quarterback play from Teddy Bridgewater down the road, they're going to be very, very hard to beat for most teams in the league. Hopefully they're just a great team and we got caught off guard and we'll get better going into this Washington game. You're going to see me drop a couple of film sessions tomorrow, the latest Wednesday. My preview should be up soon because we got a short week. Let's go out here and get that bad taste out of our mouth. Washington just lost Fitzmagic. Heineke is to me is no different than Fitz. I mean, he's a little bit safer of a quarterback for them, but it should be a knockdown, drag out NFC East matchup. Preview is coming soon. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.